1, 2, 3, 4!
So this morning we're going to look back at the BIMDAS work that we did in Year 7 and do some simple examples from then, and we're actually going to then move on to look at some more complicated calculations using brackets. So obviously we've written down what the acronym means. We've got brackets, indices, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. We realise that addition and subtraction you deal with in the order they appear in the calculation. The same goes, multiplication, division, and the same goes for addition and subtraction because they have an equal weighting. So here is our first example then. So one of the things that I think is really useful to do, you can either use a highlighter pen, or obviously because I haven't got highlighter pens for the board, although how much I would love to have them because stationery, yes please. What you can do, you can either highlight the bit that you're going to deal with first, or do it the way I do, which is underline it. So, if you look at that calculation, there are two bits that we need to deal with first. What are they?
The 3 times 4.
Yep, the 3 times 4 and 12 divided by 4, that's right, 12 divided by 4. So obviously these numbers that we don't need to deal with yet, they can just be brought down in the calculation. So the 6 will come down as it was. Oh no, sorry, I don't want it there, I want it a bit further down because the 6 will be there, the negative 7 will be there, and the plus will remain because they're things that we're not dealing with yet. 3 times 4 we then work out is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. That's right. Okay, now then, we have quite a simple calculation now because we've only got addition and subtraction. And we know if we only have addition and subtraction, we just deal with them in the order that they appear. So 6 add 12 is 18. Take 7 is 11. Add 3 is 14. Okay, and the one thing I had forgotten to do was put our equal signs there. So that calculation at the top has a value of 14. Okay, everyone with me so far? All good? Okay, has everyone written that down? Can I write it down? Okay, the next one then. Let's do this. So this one, we're moving on, it's just a little bit more complex. We've got a bracket in there and we've got a square root in there also. Okay, an exponent, as the Americans would call it. So what do we deal with first?
4 plus 7.
Yeah, the 4 plus 7 in the bracket. So we'll underline that and bring that down. That is 11. Obviously then we've got the 3 times stays the same, the negative 7 stays the same, and that one stays the same. You could have actually dealt with that bit in this line of working as well. In fact, I probably would have done, but let's do them all separately. So what do I do next? Hiruni? The square root, that's right. So the square root of 4 is obviously 2. And then we've got 3 times 11, take 7 times 2. Just put that up a little bit. Okay, what do we do now then? Well done, yeah. So we do the 3 times 11 and the 7 times 2. 3 11s are 33. 7 2s are 14. We subtract that, our answer is, what? 19. That's right, there we go. And can you see how, the thing is, if we had a question like this in the test, I could probably give you 3 marks, I probably wouldn't, this wouldn't be worth 3, it might be worth sort of 2 or 3. But I can give you a mark for each. So if you get to this and you do it, and then you get here and you do it, but then you do something wrong in the last one, you'll still get 2 marks out of the 3. So it's really important that you do your setting out. Now, if in the test you say made that 12 by accident, and then you brought that down and made 36 take 14 and you got your answer as 22, I could give you what's called follow through. So you wouldn't get a mark for that line because you got that bit wrong, but you did follow it through correctly, okay? And we start doing that in year 8 now, so you can get something called follow through. Okay, can I rub this one off then? Have we finished? Have we written it down? Okay. Okay, next one then. These are a little bit more, no, that's not. Right, so this one, a little bit more complicated. We've got 2 plus, and then we've got some square brackets. So, because we've got 2 sets of brackets, what do you think that means then for then? Ruel?
So when you're doing the things that are inside the brackets, you do the same thing as well, BIMDAS, so division goes first before addition.
That's right. But which bracket would we do first? Would we do the big bracket or the little brackets?
Little.
Cody? The small ones, that's right. So these are the things that we're going to deal with first. Okay? These are the things that we're going to deal with first. So we've got the 2 plus is going to stay the same. Then inside this one, what's 2, the first bracket, 2 plus 5, bless you, is 7. And 12 divided by 6 is 2. There we go. And then take the square root of 100 times 2 stays the same, obviously. Now we've got another bracket to deal with. So this is what we'll do next. Okay? What's 7 take 2? 5. That's right. So we've got 2 plus 5. And we've got now the square root of 100 times 2. What would we deal with next? Square root of 100, that's right. So that's 10. And we've also got 2 plus 5, take 10 times 2. What would we do? What would we deal with then?
Times.
Yep, the multiply. So 10 times 2 is 20. So we're left with 2 plus 5, take 20. Because we've got addition and subtraction, we do it in order. 2 plus 5 is 7, take 20 is?
Negative 13.
Negative 13, well done. So our answer is negative 13. Okay. Right, so let's try this one. One more. Okay. This one you might need your calculator for, so if you want to get your calculator out, you can. I thought it was only 5 minutes. Is it 15? That's fine. Yeah. Okay, so what would you do first?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's more than the brackets. Does that
Yes.
mean more time?
Yes, that's what it means, yeah. So our next line of working would look like this, okay? We would have 4 outside the bracket still. The 3 wouldn't change. And then we would have take negative 4 squared. Okay? Because negative 9 add 5 is negative 4. And then obviously it has to be squared. So you do that bit first, which gives you negative 4 squared. Okay? Then you would add the negative 18 divided by 3 again. So your next bit would be the 4 outside the bracket would stay the same. The 3 would stay the same. What is negative 4 squared? What would that work out to be?
It's like the 2 minuses goes to a plus.
Not in this case they don't, because negative 4 squared, it actually comes to negative 16. Okay? Because you deal with that bit before you deal with the take. Okay? Right, then it's plus negative 18 divided by 3. But you're absolutely right, when you have, if it had just been this, Isabella, 3 take negative 4, you're absolutely right, those two would have cancelled each other out and gone to a plus. But because it's negative 4 squared, that changes it, okay? So, what about this now then? What's my next line of working going to say? Need to get rid of those brackets. It's going to be 4 times what? What's 3 take 16? Negative 13. So 4 times negative 13 plus negative 18 divided by 3. Which bits do I need to do now? To do that bit and that bit. So what's 4 times negative 13?
Negative 52.
Well done, negative 52. Negative 52. And what's negative 18 divided by 3?
Negative 6.
Negative 6. So it's then negative 52 add negative 6. What happens when those signs are adjacent? So these are called adjacent signs. That means they're next to each other. If we had 2 negatives, they'd become a positive. What happens here when there's a positive and a negative?
It becomes
What do you
more
get rid of?
negative.
Yeah, you get rid of the positive like that. Okay? So if the positive and a negative, we're doing directed numbers in the next topic, but when 2 negatives are together, they become a positive. When a positive and a negative are next to each other, the positive is cancelled out by the negative. So here we've got negative 52, and we're taking away 6 more. So what will that be, Hiruni?
Negative 58.
Well done, negative 58. Okay.